Daily Broadside, day 1020. Today I'd like to talk about dwarfs and how there's things about them that bother me. Nothing bad. I mean, it's something that they create. I don't dislike dwarfs for the sake of it. And I'm not scared. I know a couple people that, much like clowns, are just deathly afraid of dwarfs. They walk in the room and they physically get weird. And I'm like, you're a grown-ass man. Put yourself together. What I'm talking about is when you get dwarfs that get together, which is common because physically, I might have said a couple weeks ago that I found that the sweet spot of a woman, for a guy like me who's 6 feet tall, it's 5'5" to 5'6.5", 5'7". That's kind of the sweet spot that when you're interacting physically, everything just kind of works. I think really short women are very attractive, but when they're 5'1", certain things that are just weird. They're just off. That's what I'll say. Not weird. They're off. They're not as good as they could be. Whatever. And so I can understand why dwarfs would, kind of cling to other dwarfs. Hey, I'm a 4'2" guy. I'm not gonna find a 5'3" girl, and if I do, I'm gonna look weird. I find it very weird when the dude is shorter than the girl. That bothers me. I don't know how tall Rhea Perlman, whatever the hell her name is, but Danny DeVito, I think, is still shorter than her. It's kind of hard to find somebody when you're 4'6", but I'm just saying, it's just odd no matter what your height is. So what I'm getting at is when two dwarfs get together and then they have a baby, I have a big problem with this, okay? There's a prolific one online, on TikTok at least, and they've got two kids. One of them, let's say, is 5, 6, I don't know. It's hard to tell when dwarfs are babies how old they are. And then the other one is it's just learning to talk, it seems, so it can't be that old. But it's got a trach tube, and it's got all these collapsed lungs when it was born and all this crap, or soon after it was born. So the issue I have with this is, and please help me see the light if I'm just completely a dick about this, but if I'm with a girl and we know that both of us together through genetic testing are predisposed that if we procreate, we're going to have a baby with X, Y, and Z problems, or a really high statistical probability that's going to happen genetically speaking, I'm leaning towards adoption. I just don't think that that's right to put somebody through that crap, And I mean, I get it. We're not as shunning of a society as we used to be about people that are, tiny little people. But I mean, just the rigors of, even if you grow up to be a healthy dwarf adult, you still can't, everything in your house has got to be modified. You can't get anything out of cabinets. You can't even look in drawers. There's a lot of problems. It's just a condemning thing, right? And I get it. There's people with one arm, no arms, no legs, whatever, and they just get used to it because it's all they know. That's great, but I guarantee you that had the parents known that, hey, this kid's going to be born with no legs and no arms, should we still have this baby? No, you're going to pull out. You're going to try another day for another child. That's my point. And I just, you have this crazy high percentage, if two dwarfs mate, of having a problem, not creating another, what is it, ankylodysplasia, whatever the common dwarf, where they got the frontal bossing head and the huge macrocephaly, or whatever a big head's called, and then the trident fingers where their hands are kind of like that, and then the bowed legs and all that stuff. Let's be honest, those are not typically attractive people. When was the last time you saw a dwarf and you're like, dang, she's hot, or man, that's a handsome dwarf? That's just not things that people say because they're just not physically attractive. I get it. You marry the heart. You don't marry the macrocephaly. That's fine. I get it. But deep down, we want to see attractive people with us. And I got to tell you, some of those dwarfs are just downright ugly. And I hate to say that because full-size people can be downright ugly too. And maybe this is just being cruel. All I'm saying is, if a genetic mutation was bound to happen, it was very likely, I don't understand why you wouldn't just go adopt. There's tons of people that we could adopt in this world that all need homes, We're always pushing foster the dog, save the animals, rescue the animal, quit going to puppy mills. Why don't we do that to people, Why we don't push the agenda of adopting people? And people say, well, how many people have you adopted? I created 2 of my own. I didn't think, although I did contemplate I wanted to adopt a little black girl, and a lot of people don't know this about me, but my wife at the time wasn't really sold on the idea, and not because it was a little black girl, it's just because she wasn't really sold on the idea of having a third child. And I don't know what that was all about, but I, you know, I probably shouldn't even talk about things like this because it's just weird to hear. But nevertheless, had I been predisposed to creating more dwarfs, I wouldn't have done that. I just feel like there's just this moral something. And you're like, oh, they love their kids. Well, that's great. I mean, hopefully they do. They created the sumbitch, you know. All I'm saying is, you know, if I had a dang baby that had to have a neck tube to breathe and I created the problem, I would feel bad about that for the rest of my life. I don't know how long the baby needs to breathe out of a neck tube. All I'm saying is, ipso facto, you know, whatever. I don't know, man. Like, am I being like really mean, or is this just common sense? I would think this is common sense. Like, we don't need any more genetic mutations. And believe me, they're out there. My algorithm is filled with genetic mutants. I don't know why, but I'm just fascinated by all the things that can happen to the body. You know, so there's that. And if we can cut down on that stuff, that's great, you know. And there's a lot of things that we do that create these things that help exacerbate these issues and all. And I just feel once again that, you know, if you had something that you could just nix and but sometimes the dwarf couples have normal sized children. Yeah, and that looks weird as hell. It looks weird as hell when you got a 4'1" dad, 3'6" mama, two little dwarf babies, and then this 13-year-old that's 5'2". It's just stupid looking. The whole family picture is thrown off. That is the same as the girl being taller than the dude. It just looks weird. A family should be dad, mom, kids, you know, and then if the boy kid gets, you know, of age, then he can be the same size or taller than the dad. But I don't know. Maybe that's the traditionalist in me in family photos. But I grew up with Olin Mills. The Olin Mills family was started, I want to say that was started in like Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis, somewhere in Tennessee, I think. And the dude died when he was like in his 90s or whatever, maybe. You know, it's just like a husband and wife just started, and then that's, you know, that's where all of my photographic evidence was taken when I was a child. What is it with people that take all these 350 and 370Zs and just completely fast and furious them out? That is a hideous looking car. Anyway, so that's what was on my mind today. It annoys me that people. Well, I think I've said it several times probably, so I think you get the gist of what I'm floating out here today. So here we are. So have a good one.